What was the first board game you remember playing ever?
Playing. I do remember at 5 redesigning Candyland.
What?
Really?
Wow. Hello, and hello everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. We are joined by the wonderful Julie Ahern from Greenbrier Games, and she's going to be playing Rome with us tonight. We're incredibly excited to we have some questions lined up. Lindsey's prepared some questions, and we're excited to play Rome and just relax this evening. Chill out a bit. We are we have 7 days, Lindsey, until our Kickstarter closes.
I think so.
We're in the final week.
6.5, maybe.
We're in the final week of our Kickstarter for Keystone North America. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, please go ahead and do so. Lindsey's probably going to throw it in the chat a few times throughout the course
Throw it in the chat right now.
Twitch. And if you guys have any questions for us or for Julie, I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them. And once Lindsey's done putting that in the chat, we're going to go ahead and start off on some questions. Julie, do you want to say anything more about yourself before we begin?
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
This will be fun. This will be a good one for everyone to ask questions about, because Julie and I are con drinking partners, so there's been a lot of stories. This is the kind of mature stream where you can ask those questions.
This is the after. This is not suitable for work. It's after prime time.
Yeah, this is the after prime time show.
Yay!
We all should have had drinks for the episode.
We should, if I had known.
Who says I'm not?
This is true. This is all vodka.
Yeah, right.
See, that's pretty hardcore. I
was gonna say, Isaac, you are the most badass one here.
Way to escalate that.
Oh, Alan says hi, Julie.
Hi, Alan.
Alan Girding.
Oh, hi.
Yay.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan. Glad to have you here.
Oh, I'm so pumped.
All right.
So should we jump in the questions?
Jump into the questions.
Or should we continue our conversation of Dude Bros that we were having before?
I know. We're not having that because I can't pull up a screen to defend myself.
All right. We'll do that after the call then.
Yes.
All right. So the first question, and I don't actually know the answers. I don't think to any of these questions.
I hope I know the answers.
So we'll find out. So how long have you been playing board games? And card games do count, like Magic Gathering, all that counts.
My whole life. So
I want to see. Was it earlier than me? What was the age?
I mean, okay.
What was the first board game you remember playing ever?
I do remember at 5 redesigning Candyland.
What?
Really?
Wow.
My 3-year-old sister, my mom was like, she's old enough, she probably won't chew on the cards. Let's play Candyland. And I was like, no. It's bad, Mama. And she's like, what do you mean it's bad? And I'm like, it's boring. You turn a card and you just place it and you don't know what, you have no choices. And she was like, well, I don't have a lot of choices for a 3-year-old.
We have this game Clue. Perhaps that would be more of your design alley.
So I came up with I said, we also played tons of cards. Like I grew up playing every card game and trick taking game there was, and I was like, all right, so at least get to draw 2, pick 1 for Candyland. So and my mother was like, yeah, actually that seems like it makes better sense. So my mother was an enabler for my lifestyle today, and I tell her that all the time whenever she complains about what I do.
Nice.
So yeah. I know there was other games, but I do remember at 5.
That is probably
deving Candyland because I didn't want it to be a letdown for the 3-year-old who was really just going to shove the cards in her mouth.
That is probably the earliest designer origin story I've ever heard of.
Me too. At that age, I was like unable to reset Don't Break the Ice because I couldn't hold a tissue paper gently.
Well,
that was what I was doing.
No, that's hard. I don't think I had the dexterity skills, but I could explain.
I was eating cootie parts. That's what I was doing at 5, not redesigning Candyland.
Nice. I liked all of those. By 4th grade, I was playing D&D, 2nd edition.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Did you play with a group of girls or did you play with guys?
It was all guys. I went to
yeah, that's how it goes.
I went to a school that was all like, it was like homeschool collective. So because our parents all were like engineers and scientists who didn't want public school but didn't want their kids to be completely asocial. So that my graduating class in 8th grade was 9 kids, and D&D was like the thing to do. Like, the cool kids play D&D.
That's not true in any other school.
I know, like, so like I lived in a weird alternate reality until I got to high school, and then suddenly got a rude awakening, where I didn't know that I was a nerd or a geek, and then suddenly I was like, oh shoot. This is what people are like. They suck. But by then it was too late. I was already me. So
you're already too hooked.
It was already, yeah.
What was do you remember what your first D&D character was?
My very first character was a barbarian woman. I don't remember her name, but I do remember that again, I was the only girl playing, and my GM decided that in the very first roll, we were riding in a cart off to the adventure, and the wagon went over a rock, and I got kicked out of the wagon, fell on the ground, broke my neck, and died, so that I had to immediately create a character just to be a jerk.
Wow.
And I kept playing, so...
Because that's what you do when you're a young girl.
Take that,
desperate for a game group.
Still kept playing. But my brother was in the group too, because, again, small group of people, and we were also all in middle school, and everything was dumb, and we all had really bad senses of humor. And so
I don't think any of our games early on were the
quality.
Epitome of matureness.
So I know I had an elf wizard character, I had a half-elf thief, and I had my human barbarian were my first 3 characters, and I still have the fan art I made of them somewhere.
Aww.
And their card and their stats. I have their character sheets still too.
Were you playing 3.5 or 4 at that point?
Nope, that was 2.
You're playing. Oh wow.
That was 2.
Wow. So yeah, you're old school.
Thanks. Yeah. True story. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool though. Yeah, I remember I couldn't find girls to play D&D with me, and then like I hijacked a slumber party once, and like essentially they all came over for a slumber party, and I made them play D&D with me. And they had no idea what was going on. We saved a unicorn, I think, and I didn't know how to GM because I'd read the player's handbook and I didn't understand the concept of the game.
Right.
So I just like made it up. So they bought me like I think it was 4th edition starter pack. No, it was 3.5 starter kit. And then like all the girls were like, we have no idea what's going on, but she's not going to let us go home, and we're really stuck here. That was like, so we played. That was like my favorite game. It was the only game I played with other girls when I was young. But that was also the end of the slumber parties at my house. Then they made me come to their house after that.
That's amazing.
I'm super jealous that I never got to play D&D as a child. My parents were definitely still, I think, rolling 10 years late on the satanic panic around D&D. They're like, no, that's the devil. And I was like, oh, all right.
I feel like my parents...
Being a 90s kid, that must have been really brutal because there was a lot of stuff in the 90s. Like going on
there was
category.
a lot. There was a lot. I find it funny because I know all of that happened, and I think it was just I was so insulated as a kid, and not to set like my of the 9 people I had, like Nima Palavan was one of my classmates, and Shrikant Mudana, and we were our own little diverse bubble of nerds who didn't know that we were nerds. It was a very big slap in the face when I got to high school, and it was like, oh crap, the world sucks, really. Like where everybody just kind of everything was about, hey, what did you do for your Greek mythology project, or learning geography by creating your own island and coming up with a government system, and everybody having to do a presentation in their own way, or Civil War. Everybody got a battle for the Civil War and had to explain what happened in it their own ways. So some people were we were LARPing some of the battles. I scripted, filmed, and then presented as watching on TV, a daytime talk show like Jerry Springer, North and South. Nice. We had somebody was playing a medium to channel the dead soldiers. It was trashy, but hey, I got all the facts in. So it was my own, so there was no way I was going to get a job where I was sit in a cubicle, work 9 to 5. It was never going to happen for me. Yeah. I was never going to have the patience for it.
When did you feel like this was going to be your career?
I didn't know you could do it as a career, or I would have started a lot sooner. I thought that I don't know, just wizards somewhere created magic. Same way. Right? It didn't even occur to me that this was something you could do as a job. And nobody brought it up to my attention, probably because my parents were hoping that one day I would get a 9 to 5 job. And
well, they were all doctors and engineers. They were probably hoping you'd be a doctor or engineer.
And my dad had big plans for me to be a dentist, and my grandfather had big plans for me to be an architect, and I let them both down terribly.
Have you made any dentist or architect games?
I have.
It could be a chance to redeem yourself.
There you go.
I have not. I've thought about it, and every time I'm like, no, that's not happening. Maybe I could make one like you're the Tooth Fairy, and you have to build buildings out of teeth.
There you go.
That sounds like a Greenbrier game. And horrify both of them. So I've totally lost my train of thought.
Well, you're just saying because I didn't know that it was a career either, which is crazy because I played Magic almost my entire life. Yeah. And it never occurred to me that someone had to make it.
So
I could do that instead of the thing I was doing.
That's right. Yeah. So I got a master's in education. I was a teacher. But my master's thesis, doctoral thesis, was how to incorporate board games to be able to reach more exceptional populations of learning, and using more of the theory of philosophy of intelligences, multiple intelligences, so that it's not just math and science, but kinesthetic learning, intrapersonal, all of that. So my doctoral thesis was how board games reach more of those things so that more kids are at a level playing field when learning, if you incorporate play, specifically board games and RPGs and LARPs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that was my doctoral thesis, and I presented it, and somebody at a school read it, was like, let's hire her, and then to bring up our test scores. So brand new, not knowing what I was doing. They were like, you're hired. Also, make some games and bring up our test scores or else. And I was like, what? What?
Wow.
So I then figured out it was a job because they hired me specifically to do it in the education system. And then I did for 3 years. And Kate Maxlow, at the time, she was Kate McCormick, but was my co-teacher and my partner in crime. And she and I co-designed, I don't know, hundreds of educational games over that time.
Wow. Were they used just in that one school or the whole district?
The whole district. Actually, we had one game which was trying to teach map skills. Where in the world is Tittle Dumpkins? Who is a mouse. Super highbrow stuff. To teach primary kids how to read maps and use map skills, because a lot of people make games for older kids, and we finally have Haba and stuff, but doing stuff for first, second, and third grade, there's non-existent. Mm-hmm. So we did that for geography and brought it to the Virginia State Convention, and suddenly I think half the state of Virginia used it for a while because they were like, yes, sign us up.
Cool.
Right. So super cool. I was doing stuff. I loved all of the creative things, but then I moved and it was a much more rigid structure and people top down I think in general, education has gotten more and more restrictive. And it was about that time where I was starting to get frustrated with the fact that I couldn't be creative and do things of my own volition. Mm-hmm. When I met Jeff and Jeff was cool and friends, and we started a jam band.
Really? You started that first?
And we were bad, like real bad. Like real bad. Like his neighbors would bang on the walls when we tried to practice bad. But through that, discovered that we liked board games, and then every Sunday we would play board games. And then eventually he started designing Zpocalypse and asked for feedback, and didn't realize how much I was going to give him. But that's what started. That's what started. That's at some point, we were still doing it just for fun and our own thing. And his wife, at the time his girlfriend, was like, could you maybe try selling this so that all this time you're spending on it is worthwhile? And that's when I knew you could do it as a job.
Wow.
That's so cool. So that's a jam band was the foundation of Greenbrier Games.
It was bad. It was real bad. Not that we didn't we loved it. We loved it. We enjoyed every minute of it, but that's not where our true talents lay.
Do y'all ever play music nowadays?
No. No. He's got 2 kids and also still works and has a company. No. I don't think he's picked up a guitar in 8 years. Wow. Probably. I still sing sometimes, but usually just in the shower. I don't know. It's been a while since I've sung. Good.
How did the distribution work in the school system for games?
So it's a weird thing because you're most of the time what you're trying to do is get picked up by one of the publishers that is the umbrella, so some offshoot of Macmillan or McGraw-Hill type of thing. But there are smaller ones that you can do and if you can get the local school supply stores or if your district picks it up and then it's on them to publish and distribute it. Those are all feasible things. So and of course we were it's been a while, so it was all on CD. So I could, and now there's actually I know of 2 or 3 different online sites where you can design a game, submit it, and other teachers can purchase it and have it online that way. But that didn't exist then. And when the pandemic first happened, Kate, who's now in administration, called me up in a panic. She's like, hey, how are you doing? Because if your company is not doing okay, I have work for you. If you want to design some stuff, basically, she's like, I have the specs for what I want, where it falls in the blueprint of, what the learning parameters are, all of that. You just have to make some RPGs. Do you want to do it? I was like, my company isn't failing. Thank you for asking, but I appreciate you not wanting me to be starving and homeless, and hope you find someone. So yeah, there's definitely still there's more of an outlet now than there was then, and an easier way to self-start, I think. Wow. But the real, I guess, if you were doing it for money, would be to get it adopted by one of the big publishers for textbooks. Still.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea that was another avenue for designers. I had no idea.
It's hard to get into if you aren't in education and constantly. And I happened to start, so I went to William and Mary, and I was in Virginia and had a network and I guess the credentials, whatever you want to call it, enough teacher street cred to be like, I want to do that. And also because they hired me specifically for that purpose, that I was like, well, you said you wanted me to do this. Don't you want to legitimize me more? So my district was pushing for it as well. So I had an in, and I think it's hard when you don't have an in to be like, I made a game for kids. It's good for education. They're like, we don't know you.
Right.
So I actually think the barrier to entry is very hard.
Yeah. And I mean, for designers, it's already steep.
Yeah. Which is why we started our own companies.
Yeah, that's why we all started our own companies.
Cheers.
So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and run through the game real quick and give you guys kind of like a quick little overview. Yeah. Lindsey still has more questions, so she'll ask you questions during the play to throw you off so that we can win. And that's why we made this channel.
I appreciate the honesty. Way to be straightforward about that.
Yep. I will only ask you questions on your turn.
Perfect.
They will not be easy.
So I think the game's already chosen like our colors. I think Lindsey, you're red. Julie, you're yellow, and I'm blue.
Cool.
So one of the most important things to remember about this game is the way that you're facing is the way that your symbols are going to be able to place these icons on the board, which are composed of these 6 cards right here. When we go ahead and utilize one of our travelers to place icons, let's say I go ahead and use Morv here. I think that's how I say his name. I can go ahead and do this little L formation. So let's say I want to do that. Boom, I'm going to go and place my tokens in this L formation here. And I flip him over. What's nice about that is that I'm going to go ahead and gain some coins. When I do that, let's see, I'll go ahead and gain these. 1, 3. And I can go ahead and use those coins later to go ahead and pay to fill in some different actions that have kind of these empty squares. So Mrs. Crust here, she has an ability that allows me to place a token on a square in this direction, but I have to pay 2 coins in order to do that. So if I wanted to utilize that. So why are we placing our tokens on these boards? Well, whenever one of these cards is filled, you want to go ahead and have the most tokens on that card. And the reason for that is that they actually become new characters that you get to go ahead and place on your travelers.
They're people!
They're people. And then it's going to go ahead and get reshuffled over. There'll be a new person here. And you kind of get a little preview of what the abilities will be when they're face down on the bottom of each of the cards. But what's great about that is that then you'll have a new person, you'll get more abilities, you'll be able to claim cards faster with their new abilities. And by doing that, the entire goal of the game is to have 10 travelers. So you're trying to gain 10 travelers, and the first person that's able to do that is going to trigger, I believe, the last round. Everybody's going to get one more turn, so everybody has an even amount of turns. And then we're going to go ahead and count who has the most points, and each of these new characters have point values on them as well. They'll have the numbers that are valued right here next to their abilities on the back of the cards. So the one I selected was worth 2 points, and you want to have the most points at the end of the game. And that's pretty much the game. When you run out of travelers are all face down, you can go ahead and take an action to flip them all back up at the beginning of your turn. That does not count as your turn. You get to still continue to take an action and move forward. If for some reason you haven't flipped over all of your cards and you want to flip over early, you have to pay 1 coin for each person that is not yet flipped over in order to flip over the rest of your cards. So if you want to flip over early because I really want to use this symbol again, remember you have to pay 1 coin for each person that's still face up if you want to do that. But you're totally welcome to do that. We go until someone has 10 cards. There is a little bit of advanced rules, but we're not going to be playing with those today. Let me think. Is there anything else? I don't know how much money we start with. That's the only thing I need to look up the rules.
Are we using the items?
We can.
We don't have to. I know that they exist, but we don't have to use them.
The items are fun. They're just a little bit more of the advanced game, but I really don't think it's that advanced. Pretty much at the end of your turn, I believe, is that you get to go ahead and use some of your money to buy one of these items. These items, I believe you can only use once per game. I might be wrong about that. I'll go ahead and look it up in the rules here real quick.
I thought it was once per, round. Or per...
Maybe it's per refresh as well.
Yeah.
I think it is per refresh, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ask. See, I'm asking the hard-hitting questions now.
No
Yeah,
worries.
I've
Let me just
never
read
played
that
with the
real quick.
items.
No, they're fun. I like them.
We
too.
absolutely do not have to use them. It's totally fine.
I want to use them.
I mean, I've only played once, but I adored this game when I did it. And then, Isaac, you might have already said this, but you pay 2 to fill in a blank square. One of the
Pay 2
dotted
to
lines.
place it, and if it's like, so your frog has, you can just put down 1 and not put down a second cube. But if you want to put down the second cube, it has to be in the orientation, and you pay 2 to do it.
Gotcha.
Okay,
cool.
Let me see how many coins we start with in the setup. Let's see.
And it's the only space that you can ignore the it has to stay on the map thing.
Oh, that's good to know.
Here for you.
Thank you.
Here for you.
I will be forgiving as I
Sorry,
crush
y'all.
everyone in this game.
It's fair.
Isaac has no mercy, but you I shall show mercy. Since I obviously know how to play it so well. So what year was Greenbrier officially founded? While Isaac looks up this rule.
Yes.
2011 was when we officially signed paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
2013 was when Apocalypse came out.
Nice. Why'd you guys pick the name?
Greenbrier?
Yeah.
So Ricky was our artist, and he was all twee and from West Virginia, and was just darling and really wanted to do video games, but decided he could do this for a while until that picked up, and basically moved into like you do, like most people when they like are in their early 20s. I feel like everybody has like that crappy apartment where they move in with their friends and stuff. Mm-hmm. Poor Ricky didn't do that. He moved in with Jeff and Teresa. And just and worked on the art for the game. But we all were always over there and always playing it and always working on stuff, especially at the very beginning. And one night at 3 a.m., we are having so if the zombie apocalypse really does happen, what will you do conversation.
Oh, nice. One of those.
Yeah. And Zach was going to figure out how biofuel worked and use zombies on his boat
and
just power his boat and just live in the ocean.
Zombies and corn,
fish,
very similar substances.
He was going to make it work. I don't know. I was just going to go as far north as possible so that in the winter I could go around and clean up while they were all frozen.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the big things is will they freeze in sub-zero temperatures? Yeah.
I have a firm belief they will. I have no idea what Jeff was going to do. Oh no, Jeff was going to commandeer a prison and run his own little fiefdom. Because
that's easy to do. I mean, it's a great idea.
He had a plan. He had a detailed plan. It was 3 a.m. He had ideas.
See his plan. I want to see a plan.
There were probably blueprints.
Take over a prison. Like the guards are not already thinking that are already there. An incredibly fortified loading.
Logic had nothing to do with this reality. Come on. And so we all kind of are all animated talking, and it kind of peters out. And then Ricky, with his West Virginia accent, is like, "I'm gonna go to the Greenbrier Hotel." Nice. We're like, what? So the Greenbrier Hotel is in West Virginia in the mountains, and it was built during Prohibition so that you could have a speakeasy that, senators and stuff could take a vacation from. It was close enough that they could travel from DC and have a place to go and hang out and drink and
break the law in peace
and break the law. Right. Exactly. And eventually, during World War II, the speakeasy became a bomb shelter, but it still exists. So it's a old of that era, 1920s Art Deco, Art Nouveau style hotel that still has this subterranean building. And his logic was, if it still exists, then there has to be the fanciest, nicest food stockpiled in there, and that's where he's going to hang out. And we couldn't stop laughing. And he was really sad that we thought his idea was ridiculous, especially after hearing about the biofuel. But that was, and then so like when we formed a company,
that was
several months later
in your mind.
Like it was several months later, and Jeff was like, "What are we gonna? So we're gonna be Z-Pocalypse, the company?" I was like, "No, dude, forward thinking. This might not be the only game we ever make." And he's like, "Well, what do you want to call it?" I was like, It has to be something way more neutral. It has to be something where if we decide we're not going to make another zombie game, you know, because trends change."
Right.
It has to be something else. And he's like, "Well, what else is there?" Like it was inconceivable at that point, because we had been working on the game for so long, that any other name could possibly exist. And I was like, so what? Like, I'm trying to come up with really generic, or at least something more and everything was shot down. And finally I was like, all right, Greenbrier Games. And because it was a reference to what Ricky had said, they all agreed on it, and that's why it's Greenbrier Games.
Not the story I expected to hear.
Yeah. So, and in Z-Pocalypse, you start in the basement of a hotel.
Oh,
you
that's
start
cool.
in the Greenbrier
I
Hotel.
like that. I like all those Easter eggs.
Yeah.
That I just play and never even know about.
All right, I think I know what I'm doing now. All right.
Excellent.
So I gave you guys all the player aid as well.
Thanks.
And so that allows you to kind of give you a little bit of a rundown on how everything works. So for these artifacts, the only rules that you guys need to be aware of is that you can purchase one at the end of your turn, and you can go ahead and utilize them throughout your turn. You can use as many as you want on your turn for their abilities, and I don't know if there's like a quick aid. There's probably a quick aid for what they mean, but some are pretty self-explanatory. Like this one's just pay 2 to place a token. This one's move a token on a place. This one I think is flip a card back over. So that they're all pretty self-explanatory, and if you guys need to look up anything, I will. The rules are also, you can like select them here in the little notebook right above your name in the corner.
Cool.
So if you guys ever need to look at them, and pretty much they just give you more points. So at the end of the game. So if you go ahead and purchase them for the number that is listed there for the money amount, you're going to get a few extra points at the end of the game. You flip them all back over when you flip your cards back over. So after, you can only use them until you refresh them, just like your cards. And that's pretty much how they work.
Cool.
Great. It was easy.
So I'll go ahead and start us off.
Do it.
And you guys both get 1 coin to start off with, and I don't get any. So,
all right, you don't get one because you're first player?
I don't get one, yeah, because I'm first player. But I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, wait. I'm going to put this there, and not there. And not there. And I'll claim 3 coins, so I'm doing just fine.
I see what you're doing. I see what's happening here.
I need that money. We have items now.
All right, and it goes, I assume, clockwise?
Yes.
Guessing.
One would hope. Otherwise, it's anarchy.
It is. Counterclockwise. What maniac would put anything counterclockwise in their game? Isaac.
I'm going to move all of this over here. I'm going to move all of this over here and put the items here. I think that would be a little easier.
All right, what do I want? I want Isaac's tile.
Hey, my tile's my tile.
It's fair.
What I'd like to have.
It's fair.
All right, I'm going to take... this one. I get 2 coins. Where'd the coin pile go? There it is.
Okay. Doing there.
Probably stop moving around so much so people can see the board.
There. Did it.
Nice. Oh, it's so relaxing.
I'm gonna go and
Did a turn.
I love games that are insanely cutthroat while still putting you at ease. Isaac, get off my tile.
Nope, my tile now. And I gained 2 coins.
This doesn't need to be this way, Isaac.
But it has, and it is.
All right, that's my turn.
Right. Then Different things.
Did you gain any coins off of that or no?
No coins, no.
Alrighty. Oh, and just so everybody, I didn't explain this at the beginning. If someone claims a card, like Lindsay's likely going to claim this card when it's full.
I am likely to claim that card.
As long as you have one token on there and you're not the person that claimed the card, you're going to go ahead and gain a coin.
Right.
So, that's good to know.
I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to pay 2 coins to place a blank when I do that.
So, Julie, what was it like to build a company from the ground up? Like, how did you even learn? Like, how did you know what you didn't know? You know what I mean? Like, how did you learn? What was that learning curve like?
So now there's like all these panels and resources and online and people doing shows and podcasts, and we just had zero pride and would like email a manufacturer and be like, can you explain to us what we don't know? And they would laugh at us and say no, or just not respond. And eventually somebody would take pity and be like, yeah, let us give you some pointers. There was a lot of that at the beginning. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of, and then there was a lot of, I guess a couple years in was when I started actually going to convention. Like, I was not the face. Jeff was like the one going out and doing stuff initially, but he didn't want to, and he didn't want to be the face of the company. He wanted to be the one. Like, he wants to have the company and run the company and work on stuff, but he didn't want to be the one going to conventions. And he very slowly and carefully manipulated me into being the one to do it.
Nice.
And so eventually I was basically, the one to. So now I take this.
Yep. And we get a coin because we had something on there. Do you have a coin for each token you have on there, Isaac?
You just get one. Doesn't matter
you just
how
get
many
one.
tokens you have.
Yeah. So, and when that happened, I realized that the one thing that I guess I can do is make friends. That's probably why I am the most extroverted introvert there is. So like I mean, let's be real. I'm not always the most adept at it. I'm the equivalent of second grade walking up and being like, hi, you want to be my best friend now? But building a network and talking to people, and what I learned was people in the start, and I think there's still some people in the industry who think like this is almost like trade secrets and stuff like that are very private about how their company is run. And I was just really good at getting people to tell me those things.
Nice.
But also being very open and sharing as much information as I can about things. So I think in general, over the last decade, the industry has gotten so much better. And I think Kickstarter was like the whole being transparent on Kickstarter and a bigger push for people to explain what the process was, push that to be a much more, information forward kind of a thing, which is nice.
Yeah, I know, like when I first met you at a con, I hadn't really known, like I was really wanting to be a designer. But not only were you a female designer, but you were the owner of one of the really popular companies. I mean, because I knew about it through the Kickstarter, and it was incredibly intimidating. Like I was kind of scared of you when I met you. That wore off real fast.
Good.
Yeah, like I remember.
Is it my turn, by the way?
It is your turn.
While you're saying nice things to me and I'm getting all flustered.
But I'm not sure if the Mike's introduced me to or Dog might introduce me to you guys if I met you earlier. But I remember being really intimidated because you were everything that I was hoping to become at some point in the industry. And you were definitely, just definitely one of like the big female powerhouses that I met first. But then you were just so nice and we went drinking and everything was really wonderful.
So it's so like, I still get very uncomfortable when people say nice things about me, which thank you. I appreciate you saying nice things about me. But it's so funny to me because I was glorified homeless for while going from convention to convention and had all my stuff in a storage unit because I was like, I can't, what's the point in living somewhere? And when I was at home, I was at my sister's house for before the pandemic for the 2 years previous to it. By choice, mind you. It wasn't
right. Just because you were traveling so much?
Because I was traveling so much. But it meant that when I was in Massachusetts for work, I was staying at my sister's. And let me tell you, 3 kids will take care of any delusions of grandeur you might have about being famous. So anytime anybody's gonna start to when I start to get a little, I call them and they're like, why do you want to talk to us? I'm really busy. Nice. I was playing Fortnite. Can I go? I'm like, thanks. Good. Keep me in check. Great. Yeah. Or when I was there, it would be like, are you going to make breakfast? Or are you just going to sleep? What are you going to do? And I'm like, can you do my laundry, please? I said, please. That was so.
This sounds so fun. It sounds so fun.
Thank you. But I also find that I think my whole, and again on the other side, it's not that I don't think I've ever had the the fear that I didn't fit in either, imposter syndrome stuff. My whole philosophy is everybody belongs. Mm-hmm. Everybody belongs. If you want to be in this industry and you're not a jerk, you belong. If you're a good person, if you are excited, you belong. And so by default, if I fall into that category, I have to belong too, but it doesn't make me any so thank you. But also I met you and was like, she's amazing. She's going to be so good and do such great things. I'm so excited to know her. And that was as soon as I met you, that was the thought that came into my head.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that explains a lot on how we really kicked off that relationship really quick. It must have been it must have been Origins, because I remember there was the bar up on the 3rd tier and we just hung out there all night talking. Yeah, so it must have been Origins.
But it was no. It was that we were at a Comic-Con that you weren't supposed to wasn't what you thought you had signed up. So I had signed up because it was an hour from my house and it was this nothing at a farmer's where the 4-H club meets kind of stalls.
Yeah, that. It was Counticon or something like that.
And
there was no one there. Nobody showed up.
And I look across, I see Dogmite. I'm like, oh, awesome. And I walk over, I'm like, why are you here? And they had signed up thinking it was somewhere else and you had driven
12 hours in the wrong direction and then turned around and drove the trailer 12 hours the other way. Yeah, it was super fun.
And I was so again, I was just so excited to see people I knew.
I remember because it was just us and a hot dog stand.
Yeah,
that was the whole convention.
Some guys that are here are my zines, and you're cool.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, all right, $5, sure.
We had a lot of fun, although we did not go back, but we had a really good time. Just because of the people that we celebrated and got to play. We actually got to play games and hang out that one because there was nothing going on.
There was nothing.
And it was that was awesome.
But that was the awesome part about it, was that we were cool. We're just gonna hang out.
David says that, I've been on a lot of cons like that. Yeah. So you know what we're talking about. You know what we experienced there.
Let's see. Can I do? Oh no, I can do this one now. Haha. Nope, don't move the table. This is my Tabletopia. I cannot lift things consistently to save my life. No. It is my Achilles heel.
So dexterity games with Tabletopia are just straight out for you.
Dexterity games in general. You want to see me lose it real fast?
Yeah, I do. We're gonna play a dexterity game next time.
any dexterity game. I am clumsy. I was never meant to be a dancer. What do we got?
Right.
Oh, I'm glad you love Rome, David. I so love it. It's one of my go-to games. I take it every
Yeah,
day.
I just discovered it and I love it. Up until then, there was the Odin's Ravens, I think they're actually called. That was my favorite Red Raven game ever. But I think this beats it as my favorite.
Is it back to me again?
Let's see. Is it my turn? Sorry.
I think it's your turn.
I
Yes.
just finished. Yes.
Not my turn.
Apologize. All right. What am I gonna do?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Ryan just announced. What was it? It's the sequel. It's the sequel to Near and Far. Then and
So
now.
there's Above, Below, Near, Far.
And then there's another one. What's it called, David? Tell us. He knows.
Tell us.
He's in the chat telling us.
Ooh, take this thing.
Far and further.
Far and further.
No,
That
I
makes
don't.
sense.
I don't think so.
It's just-
No, I just made that up.
I am really gullible.
Oh, see?
All right.
Sweet.
Everyone
I'm not the
gets
only one.
coins,
He said he
take
thinks
stuff.
it's here and there. I can make this up.
Here and there. It's got to be
I
something.
I literally got an email about it today.
Do these flip over when you get them, Isaac? Or do they stay face down?
They flip over face up.
Right.
You can use
Let's see.
it right
What
away.
did I get? I got
Oh, it's called
Ruth
Now.
Hecklin was speaking to a ghost. That's what I stumbled across.
Nice.
The game is called Now or Never, which is
Oh,
the
I like
next
that.
one.
Nice.
We knew it was something. It had to be like here or there or now or never. Like if it's part of that series.
Have either
I
of you
feel like we have a
played-
good lead on what that title might be.
Have either of you played Sleeping Gods?
Mm-mm. But I've heard amazing things about
No.
that too.
Heard
I have not.
things about
I
it,
should
too.
buy that. I shouldn't buy any more games. I have bought way too many games this past month. It was
Why,
just
Lindsay? The company can buy them. She keeps forgetting that we can buy them through the company now.
I do. I get super pumped because, like, first of all, there's two things. Like, one is I have worked very hard on that Cool Stuff Inc. rewards level. All right, I have worked very hard for
There
that
you
level.
So good.
And second is I get so pumped up about something, and then I just like get it, and I don't think about any other consequence.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn. I'm really excited that I've been paying attention for the last 2 rounds.
But I really should because I can't keep up with this rate. I just got a Cubidos. I am so excited. I waited for it to come back in stock forever. And I also got the Initiative, which I'm super pumped about because I've heard that it's a really interesting game, especially from a storytelling perspective. And then what other thing did I irresponsibly buy? Captain Sonar. I finally got my own copy of Captain Sonar, and I'm so excited. I've always wanted my own copy, and I needed to flesh out my cart for free shipping, so I grabbed one.
Nice.
I think
Oh, is Cubidos really fun, David? I'm really excited to play it. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it.
I just picked up Merv because Jeremy
What's that?
Howard could not stop talking about it. So it's a I know it's a Euro style game, and I know that there is a lot of like if you win the round, you get to determine what action selection there is. And so as a 2-player, I feel like it's going to be super brutal. But other than that, I can't tell you much about it right now. I just know that he was like, get it. And I was like, okay.
Nice.
But then I actually in the same time picked up the expansion for Cat Lady, which I'm equally excited about.
Nice. That makes sense.
I love that game.
I am not surprised. Have you played the Isle of Cats? 'Cause that's on Kickstarter right now.
Yes, the original,
It's, like,
not the
blowing up. Yeah, that was
Yep.
pretty fun.
That's a good one.
Alan hates Captain Sonar. David, tell Alan just to stop hating on my games and play more Friday the 13th. Let's see. Greer was returning some books to a friend. What do you guys have over here?
Cranston
Silver was carving a statue of himself.
Wait, how do you have this many cards? This is crazy.
What?
You have 6 already?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
So whose turn? Is it my turn?
I think Lindsey just took that card, right?
So
yeah, my turn just ended.
Did we have anything on there, or was it just you?
Actually, I lied.
Lindsey?
No, it was just me on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all red.
I totally lied. I wanted that one.
It said in merge.
Can I do that? Can I do a reset because I flipped my card and I turned a card over, but I changed my mind about what card?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Because it's my first time playing. Perfect.
David said in Merv, players are vying to amass power and wealth in prosperous heart of Silk Road through careful court intrigue, timely donations to grand mosques, and favorable trade deals. Players attempt to redirect as much of that prosperity as possible into their own pockets. So, a really light, simple game, it sounds like. Full of easy to grasp concepts.
I don't know if you know my household, but that's basically the speed that Robert likes to roll. I don't know if you've seen his review.
No.
But his preferences is it a euro? Is it going to take you 4 hours? Is there a picture of farmers on the front of it? Sign me up. That's
nice.
That's how he rolls. So yeah.
It's like the video game players who want 100 hours in their game to get like their money's worth out of it, and I'm like, I just can't even. Like, I'm cool with just like 15 guys. Like, it doesn't have to be 100 hours long. I can't deal with that. I don't have the kind of time in adulthood anymore.
He's starting to get less excited because so my background is all RPGs, Ameritrash.
Isaac, did you just go?
I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
And so I had played probably lightweight Euros. Obviously I had played Agricola and but nothing like a lot of the stuff going to Essen was like people were getting it, and so I was like, I don't get it. And then I met Robert, and I had to get brutally trounced every game for a good 2 years that we played because he doesn't really care for most of the style of games that I prefer. So we do every once in a while, but he isn't a fan. And I was like, well, I'm not a fan. I just don't know how to play these. But now we're at the point where, so at Christmas, because we didn't go anywhere, so didn't visit family, didn't see anybody, we had a game weekend. And played this big stack of heavy Euros that had been just sitting there being like, one day we'll play these. And I won all of them.
Nice.
No joke, I won.
Merry Christmas to you.
All of them. And if I hadn't known better, I would have thought it was like part of my Christmas present, but he was pissed.
Oh, nice. So you knew it was true.
He was mad, and it was great. Yeah, that whole weekend he won like the Christmas lights, the little pocket Christmas lights game. He won games that were all like the randomized fun party games that we played, and I won the Austria Hotel. What was it? I want to say Carousel, but it wasn't Carousel. It's the one, but it's you're in London. I'm not going to remember any of the names of them. We played a ton.
Is it Brass? Brass is a really heavy game where you're in London. Although that could be said of many
No, it's the World's Fair, and you're trying to...
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, there was a ton, and I won all of them. And that was the last big game day we've had. We'll play like one game here and there, but it's not like a big full. So that's happened. Is it my turn now?
It is your turn.
Am I holding things up? Gloating?
No, you're good. We're just talking and chatting.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna go 1.
Isaac, didn't we do a panel together about relationships, like keeping your relationship healthy while playing board games together?
Yes, we did.
It's one of the panels I still remember doing. Just being like, listen, like, they're going to get really angry and you just got to still win. Like, just don't even worry about it. Like, just go for it.
So
let the relationship suffer.
First take that game was like, what was it? Monkey Lab? that we played, which is very light and cute, but it's very take that. And it was like one of our first games that we played together, and I got so upset because I realized that the only way I was going to be able to win was if I was really mean to him, and I didn't want to be.
Nice.
And he likes to remind me of that now every time we play a game. Because I'm clearly over it. I'm over it. It's fine.
Is it me?
It is you,
It
Isaac.
is. It is.
Do it. I just need you to not. Okay, good.
Oh, wait. No.
All right, life's pretty good right now. Thank you, Isaac, for sparing me.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that's fine. And here's a coin.
Do you find the more you guys play games together, Julie, the more you become bit more bitter rivals, or do you find like it chills? Because like with me and my boyfriend, it just gets worse as we keep getting better. Like it doesn't seem to be coming. We had to ban Game of Thrones LCG from the house for a while because it was getting to the point where like it wasn't healthy for our relationship at this point to continue playing that LCG.
There are certain games that we're like, okay, we're not going to play that again. But again, a lot of the games, because we're playing them for him to review, it's not so much about the who's winning. It's also understanding. I'm doing a lot of analyzing of who would like it, why would they like it while I play. That takes a lot of the pressure off of just the focusing on winning. Because we're both doing that. The only time I get competitive during, the second the game is over, I'm fine. He gets a little traumatized how competitive I get during because I don't when the game is over, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Whatever. What do you want for you? Pizza? Dinner? What?" But during the game, I get very intense.
Very intense.
But I will say the one game that I got really, really upset about was smartphones. We had played it a ton when it first came out. And this is before it was in the United States. So we had one of the only copies that brought over from Essen, and like it was getting passed around to a bunch of reviewers. And we played it like 5, 6, 7 times. Then we started taking out and playing at game nights with other people. My turn. And what do I want to do here? I want to do that. So it's a tie, which means what?
You guys have to take your coins and then bid.
Oh, I totally lied. She has way more coins. I don't want to do that. Straight up lied. Okay, cool.
You can still make her lose coins. That's great.
Yeah, I'm good. And started playing it with other people, and it was a game with, so it's maxes at 5, and so there were 3 other players. And every game, we would beat each other by 1 or 2 points. So you can get hundreds and hundreds of points in this game. We were always within 2 points of each other every time we played. And it was super cutthroat. And that was fine. All of that was fine. When he started advising other people strategies to play that were clearly just to screw me over so that he could win, I got
That's
pissed.
where you drew the line.
And everybody's like, and it's people who are like, oh my God, blue player from the dice tower. So they were listening to him and not listening to me, and then I got really mad. That's the only time.
Nice.
And we haven't played smartphones since. So that game has been banned from the house. It hasn't.
Be, like weird if like we were playing with someone who was like starstruck with my partner, and then on top of that, they were trying to steer them against like imagine a betrayal game where the other person is just already very popular to begin with. Yeah, that would be brutal.
Well, yeah. Like that, he wasn't doing it thinking that, and that's like usually not, like, I don't care. Because there are also the times where, especially younger women in the industry, which again, I appreciate that they have somebody who they can see and be like, oh my God, there's somebody else doing it in the industry. So there's that is cool. But I do find it funny where suddenly like he's like not even there, and they're like talking to me about like goals that they have and stuff like that, and he's like, guess I'm gonna go get a coffee, I'll be back in like an hour. So yeah, we both have our moments, but also again, I don't think either of us take it seriously or take ourselves seriously, and also know that this is a very small pond, that we appreciate every single person, but also think that every single person is just as good, capable, and qualified to be here as us. So we don't take it seriously, but he didn't. So I don't think he was using his powers for evil, but he was using his powers.
He's just inadvertently using his powers.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right, I went, so you're good, Julie.
All right.
See, I got Glugro.
Nope, I did use this one, so I can now.
Building a boat out of grass. I hope it's
super
loud.
Well.
My gambling machine 55 was practicing his new dance routine.
Nice.
It's like my floating head robot in a suit.
These little things on the cards are one of my favorite things about the game. And it's one of those things where, like, it doesn't need to be there. It's a really nice touch.
Yeah.
It makes the game more fun. Just for the sake of being more fun. It's very cool.
All right. Gonna do that. I'm gonna put it there so you can grab your cubes.
What else you got over here? Oh, Grumosh was making a tea from white flowers.
Huh. Here. Those are for you.
If you buy an item, thank you. If you buy an item, is that your action for the turn?
No. It's at the end of your turn you can buy one.
All right, cool.
And you can, use it in addition to your card. Like my witch's hat here, it lets me place a empty square for free when I'm using a card that has the empty squares without paying for it. So it's kind of like combos with cards anyways.
All right. And then Isaac, did you just go?
No, I haven't gone yet. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to place this here. And
what other questions I got? What other hard-hitting questions do I have?
Hard-hitting questions.
Hard. These are, as you can tell, clearly hard-hitting questions. So you started the company in 2011, officially.
Yeah.
With the paperwork, right? So it is now 2021.
Yeah.
How has the industry changed over the time that you've worked in it?
I mean, that would be like, would you like a dissertation? There's been a lot. There's been a lot of things. Like
just
I said,
broad strokes, probably.
Broad strokes. Communication is more accessible. Because communication is more accessible, okay, so we were at the very beginning. We came in at the very beginning of Kickstarter. Kickstarter changed the dynamic of starting your own small business drastically. Because of that, being more open, sharing more information, being more working together, networking became more accessible. Because people were starting to be more communal, how we saw ourselves as a society started taking shape, and we went from this very closed, this is my little fiefdom, this is my silo, that is yours, cutting each other off, to talking about things where we also do things like call out when there is not good behavior. So socially it's changed. I think economically the business plans have changed, communication styles, so much more on social media now that didn't exist even when it just was starting to exist, and went from being just starting to exist to people clunking their way through to people now starting to be savvy about it. So many things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Lots, tons, huge.
Yeah, Kickstarter certainly was a big. Kickstarter is continuing to change the industry.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Even today, it's crazy.
I'm gonna just take a turn because I'm gonna assume it's my turn.
It is.
It is.
Cool. Cool. I have my own little stack here because putting them back one at a time just wasn't working for me. So this is my stack.
This is chaos.
These are mine.
This game, any piles are just chaotic. So why'd you decide to start the new show? I have it written down here.
You're invited?
Yes, you're invited. Thank you so much.
So what is this show, first of all?
Oh, that's true. Isaac doesn't know about it at
know.
all. I've watched it like I think once or twice.
We've had 4 seasons.
Oh wow.
We did like over the course of from last September until now, we do like 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and then take a week or 2 off and then do the next one, all with a different focus, but all of them around what's it like being a small business owner, publishing games. So it's awesome. Geared towards other publishers and other industry professionals. It's not so much a fan one. Or if you're new and you want to start a game company and you want a 101 on how to do a lot of different topics, you can tune in and watch Rachel and I be super ridiculous, but also give you helpful information. That's it. And we did it literally the 4th show that somebody was like, hey, you want to do a show? And I was like, okay, about topics I was interested in that I was like, that would be useful. Mm-hmm. There is a niche for that. And I had 3 previous that people were like, yeah, okay, so I'm going to do this and you're going to do this. And I like did stuff to prep, like interviewed people, got like my list of when we planned it, things done, and then nothing, crickets. So I have like recorded interviews for people for shows that never actually happened. So when Rachel was like, hey, there's this pandemic and I want to do something to bring people closer together and you seem like somebody who might want to do this, I was like, okay, sure. She's like, and here's my plan, and here's the outlines, and here's the folder I made in Google Docs with the 15 different things, and here's the images that maybe we can, for here would be our Instagram look, and here would be I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Yes, I'm in.
Wow.
So that's what started it, was both we knew we were losing connection with everybody, and everybody was starting to withdraw and become back into those little silos, and I think it is happening. We just wanted to slow it down because we think that that's terrible, and we want people to still be able to open and share and be open with information and open with each other and give a leg up to newcomers, but also be a place where like people who watch and comment, it's amazing who's watching and then giving their advice in the comments. It's gold. like I'm like trying to say my stuff while also like looking at like what Stefan from Yellow is writing. I'm like, I should take that down. Like I write down the timestamp at least so I can go back to it later without obviously being like,
right, because usually like, oh, I should like remember that.
Right. Like, looking at my screen off camera. So that's what that is, and we're doing, but we're only we're stopping. We're doing 4 more this summer, and then we'll probably stop for a while because conventions are starting back up again. I don't think it'll ever be gone, but it will probably be like we'll do stuff over Christmas, or we'll film a bunch over Christmas and do some. But I don't know if we'll ever be able to do it in this capacity once conventions start again. But it was beautiful to be able to do it, and do it in a format where, as things change, we can do another show rather than this is a permanent. So we can do like the new revised, or here's what's happening with that. That was, oh my God, talking about Brexit and taxes.
The whole thing.
But talking about it in a way where we can also be silly and do little things so that like it's scary and long and complicated, but also accessible if you're new, so it's not quite as scary, was kind of the plan. So that's what we did. We did a thing.
No, I think one of us I saw was really cool because there's not that much stuff built from people who work in the industry, especially someone who's worked in the industry for so long, for other people who want to either get into the industry or are just like starting new companies or even experienced people.
Right.
Like there's a little bit of something for everything, but there's just not a ton of content built from the industry for the industry that
you have a lot of like, so you get
part
like
of the industry,
Twitter
you know what I mean?
or Facebook, social media threads where people are giving their opinions, but you don't know who those people are. You don't know where they're getting their research. Like we literally will be like, here's what we're talking about, links to what we're talking about below as your starting point for where to ask questions. Not this is everything about it. Not we are the lead experts. It's this is something that is concerning us. This is the research we've done so far. There's more out there. Here's your starting point. That's how we're trying to present it. Not we know everything, or like it is just like be aware this is happening. This is how you inform yourself. Here's what we know about it. Is right. What we're trying to do. And even at that, part of the reason I love working with Rachel because we are so very different, but it works so well.
You guys are great co-hosts together.
It's so much
Isaac
fun.
and I can only dream of reaching the level of
You guys
co-hosting.
don't even. You guys are awesome, but I'm just saying, like, it's a hoot because I get so bogged down, and I do get into the weeds with the here's a fact and here's a fact and here's a fact, and she's like, oh god, teacher Julie, and it like diffuses it and reminds me, oh right, I'm not trying to scare the new people, I'm trying to welcome them back.
Right.
Do stuff. And so it's awesome. It's awesome working with her, but also it's great in the sense that she, all her games are micro games, and my games I could throw at you and kill you. So our perspectives are very different about like what works for our company. Like even in that, we disagree sometimes, and showing that you can disagree and still have a healthy conversation about your business and it's not the end of the world is great. So
Julie, are you hosting this show through Gamma? Because I know you're on the board there, or is it something that you're doing through Gamebriar?
It was its own entity.
Nice.
It was a thing we did.
It's on Facebook mostly, right?
Crying. Yes, so we do it Facebook Live, Friday mornings at 10:30, except that we're on hiatus right now. And then we upload, but you can go, if you put You're Invited, Julie and Rachel, or Live with Julie and Rachel, I think, on YouTube, all 4 seasons are uploaded there in all their glory.
Oh, I should join that YouTube channel. That would be the best way. Yeah,
please do.
Then I could catch up on everything. And
thank you so much. That was some delightful. You'll get your 10% after the show.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna see. I
can put the link for it in the chat for everyone.
Oh yeah, if you have the link, that'd be great.
Yeah, let me do that while Julie takes her turn.
Again?
Oh, did you just take it?
I think I did.
Me?
Okay. Well, Isaac.
I'm gonna go ahead and pay one and flip. So I can flip all my people early. And then I'm gonna go ahead and place this one.
Julie, what's the name of the YouTube channel?
Right here. And Lindsey and I are in a fight.
All right, I'm gonna.
I'm just gonna find it. I just want people to see it because it's so good.
Lindsey, type into the chat right now your number, and I'm gonna type my number because we're bidding on a card.
Oh, are we bidding?
Yes.
What do you bid? Wait, what are we bidding on?
I don't even know.
This one?
How do I have this? Oh, I should have taken this last turn. Oops.
How many cards do you
I think this is it. Here. Check it first to make sure I did the right thing.
Check it. Oh, it's perfect. Thank you.
And we're bidding on that one. And I'm going to go ahead and bid this. Lindsey, I think oh crap, how does bidding work again? Let me double check something real quick.
Are we bidding? Are we doing this?
Yes.
We're fighting over this card.
I'm trying to figure out how ties work. There's a tie for the most cubes, each tied player. Bid coins.
Yeah, you bid.
Card,
and whoever's willing to bid the higher.
Going in clockwise
Even
order.
if we're not supposed to bid,
okay.
Isaac, you and I are bidding. That sounds really fun.
We go in clockwise order. I'm gonna bid 4.
I was busy in the middle of buying something, so I'm out because I've just spent all my.
Oh, you've got more money than me, Isaac.
Exactly.
Also. What happens if I bid the same number as you?
You have to bid higher than me. You can't. So it's over.
That was a very anticlimactic bidding war, Isaac.
It was. I'm sorry.
So yeah.
Well, at least I get it.
That's our shtick.
You can take your.
I'm so excited that you had a YouTube channel. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I gotta go to this one.
Yeah, give me all my cubes back, Isaac.
Yeah, here's your cubes.
Yeah, give me my cubes.
Although I will say my favorite thing, she makes the clips of all the times that we flub up because it's a live show.
Oh, nice.
And then shares me, I get those. She's like, it's the editing. Here you go.
Oh, Lindsey.
It's all the times where I trip over words and suddenly go blah, blah, blah. Okay, so meanwhile, back at the she'll just do that.
Nice.
Here,
and she's close them together.
Yeah.
You missed out on Ember, who was telling stories to a pack of rabbits.
To a pack of rabbits?
Yeah.
Do rabbits travel in packs?
And apparently,
that seems really intimidating.
She has a very strange rabbit demon on her shoulder.
But yeah, rabbits
that's not
be
quite
like
a rabbit.
Packs.
I don't know what that is.
What is a group of rabbits? You know, like it's a pod of whales.
I don't know. All I know about rabbits is that their back is called the saddle. That's all I know about rabbits.
What?
But it's like a...
Yeah. I know that from cooking school, so it's a really kind of morbid piece of knowledge for everyone. But from the shoulder to the haunch, that's the saddle, and it's really good. All right, I'm claiming this card. Creepy rabbit. Although I wouldn't want to mess with a pack of rabbits. That's not what I signed up for when I signed up for cooking school. I'm not taking them down. All right, I got Brim Mutter Chops was humming to herself. Mutter Chops is great.
All right, I'm doing this so that I can...
David in chat said there is a lot of great bloopers.
Yeah.
How many do we need? 10?
10.
1, 2, 3.
We're getting there.
All right.
By we, I mean the two of you. I am losing by a lot at this point.
Last time Isaac snuck me, and I'm trying to make sure he doesn't do it again. So I wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden the game ended, and he was way ahead of me.
Oh, look at this. Okay.
Oh, I should have used my thingy. That was weird.
This here, I didn't know that Ryan Lockett reused some assets on some cards just slightly. If you guys can see this 3 and 4 together, it's some of the same art. Right next to each other.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
So I
mean,
cost
when you have, I was gonna say, when you have this many cards, you kind of have to sometimes.
Well, I mean, like it's interesting because he's using the same art, but it's not in the same position.
No, yeah, he probably got somebody to do a panel and did sections of it.
Doesn't he do all his own art?
Maybe. So maybe he did the panel and did sections of it,
Wow.
or maybe he intended to do more and ran out of time.
I mean, I don't know how he does everything so quickly.
I don't know, and it's so good.
It is. His worlds are so consistent. Is it my turn? I'm sorry.
It is.
What do I do? All my stuff is off the board now. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and use this dude. I'm going to place one here.
So, Julie, I know there's probably some stuff that you can't talk about, but
here.
of the games, of what you can talk about, like what have you been playing lately? What have you been playing for fun? What have you been playing for work?
I
know we talked about it before the stream, but the people deserve to know.
I've been playing a lot of games that are on Kickstarter currently because we do, for reviews. So I get a sneak peek on a lot of stuff. The one besides your game on Kickstarter, of course, the game I am most excited for Kickstarter on Kickstarter right now is Book of Villainy. And there are a bunch, I should say, but Book of Villainy was the one that I got to play for Tessa. Elise is the designer, and she 2 years ago at Dice Tower East. Jessica Cassidy, who's Board Game Girl, dragged her over. Like, she had been in the designer's room and I was running the booth and she was helping, but it was her downtime. So she was going and playing. She went to play in the designer's room with all the new designs and looking at stuff, and basically dragged her to the booth. It was like, this game. This is a Greenbrier game. Play this game, Julie. Play this game. And Francesca was like, I don't know what's happening, and I don't know anybody here, and I'm freaking out. And I was like, okay. It was like, that was the exchange. And I was like, it is so nice to meet you. I will take Jess's advice because she is quite good at this. So can you please tell me what this game is? And like 30 seconds into the pitch, I was like, yeah, sit down, let's play. I lost the bidding war on this game.
Oh, nice.
This should be, I'm not bitter at all. It should be a Greenbrier Games title for the cute but stabby, like our Barbarian Battlegrounds kind of line. It's not. It's on Kickstarter. Please back it because it needs to be made. It is awesome. So I'm very excited about that. And I've also got the advanced copy for reviewers downstairs to play for the third time. I've played it twice at 2 different conventions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's what I got to say about that.
That's awesome. We should back it, Isaac.
I'm doing it
Since
right
you just
now.
told me. Yeah, I was going to say, since you just told me to stop
right
buying
now.
things and have the company do it instead.
It's not that expensive. It's a smaller game, but it's super fun. And so you're okay. You have like a rondel that's almost a Mancala style where you're jumping characters to go to different locations. At that location, you do a mean thing, but it also allows you to, get different cards. So you're either, and I'm not sure if they've adjusted it or not, but some of the choices are you're taking a page from the Book of Villainy, or you're writing in your Book of Villainy journal, so you're taking one of the cards to write. And there's a set collection that way. You're recruiting henchmen. There's a set collection that way. So there's multiple ways to get set collections and also take that on the other players. So there's never that truly just going in at somebody else, because it could also benefit them or benefit you slightly. And there's a lot of balance that way. The Book of Villainy card descriptions of what you're doing to be a villain, because you're terrible at being a villain. You are a really mediocre villain, are hilarious. And my favorite, which I saw and they didn't change it, was stand outside a deli and fart a lot as people go in and out.
Nice. That's one of the pages.
So it's like
of
these
the
dumb. They're just so they're not really mean or villainous,
right,
as much as they're just like weird and obnoxious kind of things that are also hilarious. So that's the game. I laugh every time I play it. It's not my game at all. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't be promoting it. It's the opposite of go back the game.
I just backed it and I tweeted about it, so we're all
yay!
You sold the copy.
For the other company.
Because one day I hope to actually sign one of Fortessa's other games, because she's amazing. So I was awesome. I was so sad. I was so sad. She's like, I signed, and it was like this. I have this other offer, and I need you to either make a counter offer or I've got to sign it. It was like, I can't do it any faster than I'm doing it, and you have to do what's best for you. And for the next 3 times she saw me, she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, why are you apologizing?
That's just the industry. Right. Yeah. There'll be other games.
You're good. You're doing what's good for you as a designer.
You know how good it is for people to get into a bidding war over your design? You know, designers never find themselves in that position.
Don't be sad. And she's like, but you were so nice. I'm like, that is not a reason to sign with a publisher, but also good instinct. A little bit of both. I'm torn there on that one. Is it my turn?
It is.
I keep saying it. Cool. All right. Sorry. That one. Yeah. 1, 2. Now correct me, or please clarify. Is this one right here, the candle mean that I can put down another thing?
It means you can move a cube.
I can move a cube.
Pretty sure. I will
anywhere?
Check. I believe it's anywhere. Let me double check real quick.
Cool. Totally doing this. Just I'll wait.
That's smart.
You may slide one marker on the map to an empty vertical or horizontal adjacent square.
Well, it was vertical. It was straight down.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
All right, so I did that ability, and this is mine. Yoink!
Claim it.
You get nothing from it. I am losing. I'm not sure why I'm acting so cocky.
Let's see what else do you have over here. Bronchius Brahm was breaking up priceless gems with a hammer, which seems... I don't know why. I want to know.
Mistri, the fencer, was hanging clothes to dry behind the waterfall.
Huh. Seems hard. Seems hard to have him dry behind the waterfall.
That is adding some extra difficulty to your own skill set.
Not a lot of wind drafts going on behind that waterfall.
Alright. Let's see. What am I going to get?
Alright, Isaac. How many cards do you have over there?
I have 8. I think you have 8.
Okay, good.
We all have 8 now.
We all have 8? Well. Alright.
So, I'm scared of all y'all.
Oh, I didn't take my 1 coin.
I have 9 soon.
I think
yes.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll make everyone mad.
The neighbors are setting off fireworks, so you might hear dogs bark. Yeah. So now the chorus of dogs will come in as soon as it's over.
Nice. Because, like Wednesday, June 9th.
No, this is every night. We're in Indiana. This is every night. And then my next door neighbor has dogs. The neighbor after that has dogs. The guys behind us have dogs. And every single one of them loses their minds every night after fireworks.
How do they have access to so many fireworks?
We're in Indiana. This is just
the way it is out there.
Welcome to the flyover states, friends. This is what you do. Okay. So I grew up mostly in Massachusetts, but my family also is in Maine, and I will say this is pretty summertime Maine behavior as well. Only instead of dogs, all the loons on the lake go nuts.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little bit different, changing it up with dogs barking instead of all the sounding like a ghost screeching its soul out.
To go look up a loon sound.
Go for it. It's creepy. It is a creepy sound. Actually, if you can play it, it is.
I think Isaac would have to do it on his side.
A loon?
A loon?
Like the bird?
The bird.
Isaac, we have a nature game live right now. We should be on top of this.
All right, y'all. Here's what a loon sounds like.
I don't think it's picking up on your microphone.
I mean,
on many an occasion, I've been camping. And
wait, are you going to describe it to us? That was the point of that.
I don't know. An old man started speaking, so I don't think that's right. Let me see.
Wrong kind of loon.
It's not a big deal. Everyone at home, look up what a loon sounds like, and then tell us in the chat in your best approximation of the noise that you heard.
I'll throw it in the chat. It sounds like a wolf.
Yeah.
It sounds like a wolf?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, and it echoes so much.
Yeah,
Pop-Tart MN says, as a Minnesotan, everything you say checks out.
So, growing up in Maine, fireworks, then think of 5 to a dozen of those happening all at once because they're all upset about the fireworks and it woke them up and they were all asleep and they think they're under attack by an eagle or something.
Wow.
So you're dead asleep and then suddenly that happens. Totally awesome. Here, same principle, but dogs. And there's little yap yap dogs and there's a couple Rottweilers and some stuff other mixed mutts in for variety all around on 3 sides of my house.
Wow.
Same principle.
We had a noise outside the house the other night, and I grabbed Mike and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a ghost of a woman reliving her murder outside and then turning into a witch and cackling. And that is the closest, I guarantee that's what it is. It has to be that. And he's like, do you mean you hear coyotes?
Yeah. That sounded like a coyote.
It's just a pack of coyotes. And
that's what, as soon as you said it, then they cackling, I'm like, coyote.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't realize coyotes sounded like your house was haunted.
For the record, there were many years in between these two places that I've lived in, Boston, DC, Chicago, where none of this was the case. Areas. Right. But,
whose turn is it?
Probably mine, if you're asking. Or maybe yours, if you're asking. I don't know.
No, I just went, so it's not mine. I just got my 9th card. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God.
Better start getting nervous.
All right, well, then drastic measures must be taken.
No.
Yes.
No, I wanted that card for myself.
I know you did.
I'll take that coin, though.
I was hoping it was my turn. But
and I
that
got a coin
right.
from that. And this is my card.
All right, I get a coin. So does Lindsey.
I grabbed one already.
You put that coin back.
Here you go. Here you go.
Thank you.
Flippity.
Buy an item. Should there be 3 items out?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just bought
4, actually.
I've been buying and not really announcing it just at the end because you can do that at the end of your turn, right?
I just want I want some sweet items here.
All right, so it's my turn. Let's see, can I take this?
Let's see. You can't end it, can you?
I can do something.
No, you can't. All right, good. Still got a turn left.
I can't really take that. I'll do this so no one can try to take this. Yes. I will stand by that, even though it makes me upset. I gain a coin. And I'm going to go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
All right.
7
going
coins.
to... What am I going to do? Something really crafty, I'm sure.
I spend 7 coins to buy this.
Oh, that's only worth 1 point. I don't want that. Hold on, hold on. What's actually worth points here? Can you choose to only fill in some of the squares and not all of them?
Yeah.
No, you gotta fill in all except for the one with the empty box.
Yes,
the empty
that's
square.
Right, but if there's multiple empty boxes, do I have to do all the empty boxes or none of them? Or can I choose which empty boxes I want to fill?
You can choose.
All right. This doesn't make any sense. This is also a terrible decision. Why am I doing this? Wait.
Mistakes were made.
This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted.
Yep. Naturally.
That.
Naturally.
Nope. No. That. Right. And then this.
Which card are you looking at?
This
I have
one.
No idea.
Right. So
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
skip this. Do this one. Do this one. And go over. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm not breaking any rules here. And then that.
Oh yeah,
costs
no.
me
And if there's another
4.
cube there, you can just not fill it in. That is correct.
Cool. Okay. That is my amazing and glorious turn.
Amazing and glorious, huh? That's what we're going with.
That's what we're doing.
That's what you're going with. All right.
I think it's
All
fine.
Right.
It's a fine turn.
It was a fine turn, Isaac. Thank you. I will continue to be your partner in the morning.
This one. Yikes!
Yeah, it's always like this. It's on a thread every day.
Just vicious.
I'm just scared every morning.
We don't stand a chance, Julie.
She wakes me up every morning with a text and is like, "We need to talk." Time to send away.
This one right here, down here, I spend a coin so I can put an extra thing. Is that what that is?
That one is. Let me see. Can't. That one is just gain 1 coin when you flip it.
Just get a coin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the rules said.
Okay.
Yep, use this ability, gain 1 coin.
Sure. All right, so I'm gonna do that so that I can get a coin because I haven't been doing that at all, any turn or any round, and it seems like a waste.
Don't know what this one is.
Well.
So, when you use this ability, you may replace another player's marker with one of your own.
No, Isaac.
Yes,
No. No, Isaac.
Amazing.
Stop it. That is not need to happen.
Shall do so.
All right, so this 1, 2, 3. I get 1, 2 more coins, and that gives me 5 total. So I'm gonna buy this.
Should we buy more cards?
Yeah.
Ooh, a golden chest.
3.
Oh, it's 8? Can't afford
4,
8 for a golden chest.
5. Are you ending this game?
I don't think I can.
No, did Isaac already take his turn and not end the game?
I haven't taken my turn yet.
Okay.
No, he's gonna take his turn. He's gonna claim, I think, at least one.
And that ends the game, right?
No, he has 8, right?
I have
8.
8 currently. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll still have a little bit more time as Isaac and I both scramble for that last one. Although you're getting up there too now.
I'm not allowed to claim something if I go off the edge, right? Like I can't place off the edge.
I don't think you can place off the edge.
That is not allowed. Yes, that is correct. So I can't place here like I want to.
Oh, Julie, you're up there too.
Yeah.
But
Logren was setting handmade traps to catch invisible squirrels.
Checks out.
Checks out. Thank goodness he wasn't going for those bunnies. They would have murdered him.
Oh, but I can place over an occupied thing, just not I just won't place it.
Oh, can you?
Yes. That is allowed.
That's cool. So Julie, as we get towards the end of the game, what's going on with Greenbrier? Anything cool coming up? Anything you can tell us about?
Can I tell you? So Tales of Barbaria is waiting to get on a boat. It's done. It's made. So that's exciting. The fact that it is waiting on a space on a boat.
It looks so good too. Can you show the cover?
Yeah.
I know it's behind you. So everyone can see it.
Well, I have like the 3 different iterations of proofs and then the final copy.
Nice.
So this is the one that actually people will be getting because this was like off the line that they shipped air freight.
Beautiful box.
So this is Tales of Barbaria, which I'm one of the co-designers, and it's been a long time since I've co-designed anything Greenbriers, and it's close. I get a little.
That's awesome.
I get a little giddy about it. Aww. So this is you're one of the different villages, so you're a warring faction of bears. And you roll dice and you allot it just like you do in the original game, but in addition to the original game, you have boards where you go adventuring. So in addition to fighting each other, you can also choose to go out adventuring and have great feats that give you glory. And that was a big piece of it that changed. And then also the cards, as opposed to straight using the dice to buy things, you buy cards, and then those cards have a variety of things, and you can put them out and be sneaky instead of having to do it immediately. So that's the big changes. It adds a little bit more strategy and less randomization to the game, and it's up to 6 players.
Oh, it's up to 6 players now.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the expansion. Was over here, but now goodness knows where I put it. There's an expansion, and us being us, it's zombies. It's candy bear zombies. It's the Zombear horde, and so they get put over the adventures. So you go out adventuring and find these marauding monsters. So you have to defeat the monsters, and it also has heroes, so that you get specialized dice that your heroes can play.
Awesome.
That's great. I just love the art so much. I can remember when you showed me the original Barbarians, and I just squealed so hard because it was just such a great art.
That was Pablo, and then we got because he started his own game company. Was like, I can't do it anymore. We got Guillermo and Sonia to do this one, and they were also amazing. And literally, I was like, can you do this? And they were like, yeah, we can do it. We got it. We're cool.
That's awesome. Pop-Tart is also squealing in the chat that, Julie, I am so excited for Tales of Barbaria.
Me too. I can't wait. I can't wait. And hopefully it will be here. Probably going to have to air freight it by the time Origin comes along, because we are going to do at Origins a tournament. And then if you're not going to conventions and want to stay at home but want to participate, we will have an online bracket so that you can do your own kind of March Madness to predictions of who the winners for each tier of the tournament will be online.
Nice. Have you announced the prize yet?
The winner in person at the tournament winner will get a Build-A-Bear that I also got a commissioned costume so that it's a barbarian Build-A-Bear.
So great.
Yeah.
like the most ridiculous prize to a game tournament I've ever heard.
It will be the most treasured prize.
And then I have pins. I have pins of all the like a bunch of the different heroes, so that you will also get all the pins. With, like a little sash on the bear.
Pin trade.
Yeah,
I need those pins.
Is it my turn?
It is. You can end the game.
Cool. I end the game.
Which is damage.
What? That means we
any
don't get
card.
A turn.
Sure. Let's make it whatever. This card, which means I put 2 more things down, but it really doesn't matter.
I think Julie destroyed us.
I think all that talk about being behind wasn't.
I thought I was.
Wasn't really true.
You have so many icon or points, I think there.
Yeah. I bought things. They had points on them. I see things that I'm like, oh,
that's
worth points. I'm going to buy that. That's what I save my money for. Because point spread, the cards weren't worth a lot more than the little side cards were. So you flip them on this side.
And we just added up, right, Isaac?
Yeah, you just add it up. I don't know what the tiebreaker is.
All right, so these are the starters aren't worth anything, right?
Right.
Correct.
Are coins worth anything?
That's what I'm checking right now.
Cool. 5, 7, 9, 11.
The player with the most points is the winner. If tied, the player with the most coins wins.
17.
So it's just a tiebreaker?
I'm at 20 points.
19.
I'm at, let me count again.
20.
Oh god. That was worth 4 points? Oh my gosh.
25.
Ouch.
21.
Destroyed me.
Are you serious? You didn't complain, but that entire game you're like, oh, I'm losing. Oh, there's no
Welcome
way.
to my strategy. Welcome to my strategy. I wasn't paying attention. I was not paying attention. You would get me into a song, and then I was like, shoot. I wasn't paying attention. It's a good thing. Yeah.
What? 4, 5, 6 points from items? I gotta do more items next time.
Yeah. That was
good game. That was a good game,
job,
everyone.
Julie. What do you think of the items?
I like them. They don't really add like a ton of complexity.
No, they don't.
Which is what I really like about this game is how simple they are. So like I don't mind them at all.
Yeah.
So
I like them.
I wasn't going to use them, but you guys were spending your coins to do the flipping and using. So I was like, nobody's buying them. So
right, I totally forgot they existed for a couple
do.
It was good. I mean, it got you because I was at 21. Those items cards made the difference.
That 4 one was huge as well.
That was one of the first ones out. So I was waiting for one of you to buy it because you had all those coins, but you were just using them for like the flipping cards and all of that.
Right.
So I was like eking along, getting coins. Like somebody's gonna buy it. Somebody's gonna buy it. And as soon as I had 9 coins, I was like, mine.
I should have gotten it. All right. Rematch. At some point, we'll do a rematch because I want a rematch of this game.
Hopefully in person one day.
Mm-hmm.
I have the sweet metal coins that came with the Kickstarter that are amazing. They have little flags.
I want a copy of this for my gaming group. Would go nuts for this game. Like they would love it. So I gotta find a copy somewhere.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Julie.
I had a lot of fun.
It was really fun.
For those of you, again, Lindsey, if you want to throw the link to her YouTube channel in the chat,
sure.
Please check out that YouTube. I'm excited to check it out myself now, just having learned about it. There's probably a plethora of knowledge on there that I'm sure I can learn plenty from. And Julie, where can people find you online if they want to follow you as well, besides YouTube?
So, I mean, Greenbrier Games, Greenbrier with an E, Games is, we have our own website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I tried to do TikTok. I failed.
We're still puddling along.
Yeah, we haven't given up yet.
Right. We haven't given up yet.
So that's like for all my gaming stuff, and then You're Invited Live with Julie and Rachel is where you can find all because my other stuff is just pictures of food, so you don't really want to.
Nice.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see my sad hamburgers. So that's really where you want to go.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you guys want to follow us, we are on Twitter @RoseGauntlet, Instagram @RoseGauntlet. And you can always check out more social links through our website at www.rosegauntlet.com. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you here next time, hopefully with Rodney Smith and Paula Deming will be joining us as well.
Yeah,
this is
going to be a fun one.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're really excited about it.
And I think we're gonna go and raid someone. Let's go ahead and raid.
Ooh,
Benita.
who should we raid?
Benita, she raided us last week.
Yeah, let's raid Benita.